Jenny, how you going?
I'm so good. It's so exciting to have you back.
It's great to be back with you.
Oh, when I saw your name come through on the email, I was like, yes, that means that there's more music coming.
It's been a while. It has been a while, to be fair.
Well, I was thinking, I actually went back through your bio because I was like, how long have you guys been going? Because it's been a while now, and 2018 was what it like.
Yeah. Well, that's when we sort of started putting music out.
Yeah.
And we'd sort of, well, I mean, I probably sort of told this story before, but the members of Copperline were sort of playing together for years and years before we even put out a record. You know, we'd played together in cover bands and other people's bands, but we just sort of, you know, wanted to get back to doing the thing that we got into music to do, which was to write and perform our own music. So, yeah, we went in the studio, and that's 2018 is when we started putting singles out. So nearly 10 years.
I know. That's incredible. I remember when I had you guys on the show, and was it 2020 that I had you guys on, or 2019? It might have been even. And then again in Tamworth that year, that next, I suppose, which would have been 2020.
Yeah.
Because that was the last
time we had. Now, all those years are starting to blur into one.
I was thinking when I met you, did we have to have a mask on? Was where I went. I'm like, did I have to have a mask?
Yeah. We might have done, I reckon. We might have done.
It was crazy. Everyone's like, when did you last? I'm like, it's been a long time, because we started in 2019, so it didn't work. If you guys are putting comments in, I can only see the ones coming in off of YouTube at the moment. The Facebook ones I can't get up on my phone, it's not working. So if I miss your comments, please, I will reach out to you after the show, everybody. But yeah, I was sorry, I don't know why my phone's just decided to not work.
I can see one from Kaz there.
Oh, we can see Kaz is excited too. New music. Now, we were saying before we went live, do we talk about the single? Do we talk about the album? But let's start at the start of 26. How has it been for you? Because we are 8 months in. How's 26 treated you so far?
It's been good. It's been a good one for the band. We've put out a few singles this year, which means we've got to play a bit. So we've done some really good shows this year. It's been really nice to sort of road test a bunch of the songs off the new album for people. I mean, everyone's in the band. Everyone sort of plays with other people as well. So we've been busy with other musical projects too. But it's been it's been a good start to the year, sort of leading up to the launch of the album.
I can't believe that you can say that, launch of the album already, and it's just gone so quickly. But before we do, let's talk about this single now, FOMO. And I love the stories behind this, because I was thinking about when I always tell people, I listen to the song before I read the presser usually. And I was like, oh, when I saw the title, I'm like, I wonder what that's like. And I was thinking to myself, well, I know how that feels like, because I don't always get to every gig. So I can kind of get that feeling a lot. But then when I read the presser after the song, I was like, oh, that's a really good point. Like you sit there being so excited, so disappointed that you're missing what's going on, that you're not taking in what's around you. So tell us where this came from and why you're releasing it as a single from the album.
You've kind of hit the nail on the head there, what it's all about, really. I feel like, you know, we live in a world where there's so much happening all the time. And so it sort of primes us to fear all the things that we're missing out on, and to think about, you know, the things that we could be doing, the gigs we could be at, the people we could be hanging out with, the places we could be instead of where we are now. But I think that can really pull you away from the here and now, and just kind of take your focus and appreciation off the things that are happening right now, the little things, you know. Yes. I feel like the social media is often about, you know, seeing other people's wonderful lives and wishing that we could be living them ourselves. But yeah, it was kind of, I guess the song was about my conscious decision to give up FOMO. You know, I know I can't do everything. I know I can't be everywhere. And just to be cool with that, and not to let that sort of take away from the simple, really great things in my own life.
Because and that's exactly right. Those simple things are really what it's made for, isn't it? There's they're the important things of life, and sometimes some of those bigger things we're not actually missing out. We're just finding something in the moment anyway. But it was a very good way of putting it. I like the idea of this song. Before we went live, we're talking like you guys have had this album waiting since 2025. How has it been for you guys, like releasing songs that are, you know, I mean, an album is always done ahead of time, so you always, when you release a song, have to go back to that moment, but it's quite a period of time. How is it feeling going back to those songs, because you've had them written and recorded for a while? Has it made it feel different for you guys in the songs? How has it made you guys feel talking about all of it?
Yeah, it's an interesting question, because I think with an album, I mean, with any album, you end up, you know, you've got a sort of handful of songs off any album that either are singles or songs that people really respond to well at gigs. So those ones, you know, we play all the time, so they feel really fresh. But there are a bunch of tracks on there that we haven't really touched since the album. You know, we haven't released them as singles. They haven't sort of fit into a set, perhaps. So it's almost like rediscovering those songs. I've sort of started rehearsing again, playing a couple of tracks that we sort of haven't really touched in 12 months. So it was almost like, you know, learning a new song.
That is exciting. I did wonder that, because there's always, when it's a single, you do tend to play it a bit more, I think. But when you've released it as an album, if you haven't released it all, it's just hard to fit it into a set when you're live, because the stories are kind of intertwined, don't they?
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, not everyone's Bruce Springsteen. Not everyone gets to do a 3-hour show, you know.
Yes, that's right. I think I tell you what, some places you'd be glad you don't have to do 3 hours. Imagine that every night. My goodness. But so when you were rediscovering the songs, did it make you feel any different to the moments when you wrote them? Have they had become a different meaning at times for you guys also?
But probably the thing that stuck out to me was the connection between them, and I got a sense, and I hadn't really thought about this, but a few people I've been speaking to, you know, doing interviews and things, have noticed the real kind of, I guess, a theme and a mood tying all the songs together, which I hadn't seen, but I kind of have now. You know, I mean, I guess maybe having people point that out to me, but sort of playing them with a little bit of distance, I can see. You know, there's lots of different kind of moods and styles, but there's something that sort of ties them all together that I've only just kind of noticed, I think.
Isn't that funny? When you put the album together, was that something at the time that you really thought about? Is it, you know, the order because of the fact that they do intertwine a bit, or is that something that you've kind of just discovered, as you said, sort of now listening again?
I think, I mean, we spent a bit of time just thinking through and moving songs around to get the best order. I think we sort of more did that for feels, you know, so there was a kind of a nice, neat little journey on the album. But I feel like it has kind of worked out, and people sort of who've listened to it have said, you know, there seems like a kind of nice flow of ideas and thoughts. We've got, the album's called Sleepwalking, because the first two songs that I wrote, again, not consciously, sort of coincidentally, are both about walking at nighttime. I love walking out and kind of looking up at the night sky, looking at the stars and the moon. It's a really great way to, you know, deal with things that are on your mind. So I think that, you know, having those as kind of the bookends of the album helped sort of set the tone and gave it a sort of beginning and an end, you know.
Yes, what a beautiful way, beautiful thoughts and things to think like that, I guess, and to let things escape your mind, which I guess for a songwriter, being able to do that and then being able to capture those moments so that other people get that opportunity within that song as well, which is really special. Now, I love the artwork. I always love, you guys have always got good, fun artwork. All of the things about any of the singles or albums that you've released over the years, I've always loved looking at every part of it: artwork, lyrics, song, you know, the production. But tell us a little bit about the artwork for the single and for the album, because they're such beautiful pictures. Who did these for you, and tell us about it all?
So this is my really good friend Mark Lynch, who I play in a couple of different bands with. Great bass player, but also he's a fantastic artist, graphic designer. That's his day job. So all of this artwork was put together by Lynchy. And I just sort of, I mean, he's such a good artist that I just kind of gave him an idea. I didn't want to sort of limit him too much. So I just kind of gave him a little bit of an idea of what the song was about and the kind of mood, and he just captured all of them brilliantly. And I wanted to use him for all of it, just so there's a kind of visual connection between everything on this record.
I think that's the other thing too, is it's not always just about the songs. Like the whole thing needs to have that theme where it rolls into each other, doesn't it, to make it feel like a body of work.
Absolutely. And I think especially now, because, a lot of people aren't making records. Like, I mean, the reason to do it is because you've got a batch of songs that belong together. So, I think you've got to make it worthwhile, you got to really make the most of that,
Yeah, absolutely. How do you go? Because that's another thing that I always think about, like when you're writing, and especially if you are writing for an album in particular with those thoughts in mind, do you find that hard to sort of then start, when you finish that album, writing differently for another body of work? Or do you just sort of write and then eventually it just sort of evolves away from that particular style and album?
That's a really interesting question. I heard an interview with Nick Cave the other day talking about exactly that. And he said, like, the first two songs that he writes after an album are like cleaning out the dirty bathwater of the last record, which I really liked. But I sort of write songs out of order. They come to me a bit randomly. So this record, I've sort of picked songs from different times. I mean, a lot of them were written together, but a couple of them I've sort of have been sitting on the shelf for years waiting for the right project and record to go on. I feel like I've written a couple of songs since this record that are quite different from this album. A couple that are probably could have ended up on this album if they'd been around in time. So it's a bit sort of unpredictable, my songwriting. I wish it was more predictable and reliable, but they could have come to me at all weird and wonderful times.
I love hearing how every one of us that write, how different it is for all of us. So I love that, you can just sit there, but it's also really great that you, even if it's not quite what you're after for an album, you can sit there and still do it. You just let it happen. And then if it fits in with that, it fits in. Otherwise you can do it at another time or use it just as a single, not part of a collection sort of thing. So it's really good to have that opportunity.
Yeah, I think songs always find a home, sometimes it can take years, and sometimes it can take years to find the thing to finish a song, half an idea sits there just waiting for, a chorus or a line in a verse just to round it all off. I've been sort of doing it long enough to know never throw anything away.
No.
Just keep it there, keep it on the shelf, because you never know when it might sort of find its time and find its place.
I think that's a really important thing too, because people do. I heard of artists going, well, it doesn't fit, and not finishing it or not continue it, and then later on regretting that, going, well, I should have kept that because I think that would have fit here, but I don't really. You can't capture it again once it's gone. It's kind of gone. Yeah. I was going to talk to you because obviously we're promoting both the single at the moment and the album. With going back and practicing and re sort of looking at all those songs, do you have a favorite on the album that you're looking forward that people might not have heard yet, that you're really excited to see the world? That's a hard question.
No, it's a very good question. There's a song called "Hold You Tonight" that we have actually been playing live a bit, but we haven't released it. And I really love the way. I mean, it's one of my favorite songs anyway, but I love the way it came up in the production. It just, some songs some songs turn out sort of what you picture they're like, but I love the ones that just kind of grow wings in the studio and turn into something that I didn't imagine it would be. So that's the one on this record for me. It's I just think it became something bigger, once we worked with Shane in the studio on it.
That I love hearing that sort of thing too, because when you take it into a studio, I think there's something that I keep wanting to do with an artist is go along with you away, from writing the song through to then what it sounds like when you're just sitting there writing it, to then what it sounds like when you finish writing it, to then sort of what it sounds when you might take it to the band or see what they think, or then going into the studio and just watching how much it changes and how it evolves, because it's such a big thing. You don't realize how much each of those steps change the song. And I think that would be really cool to show people, because going into the studio, with Shane, he's got his own thoughts and ideas, and you've got yours, and then you've got such strong creative minds working together. It's incredible what you can come up with.
Yeah, and that is exactly what you described there, is why I prefer playing in a band rather than being a solo artist, where it's just always my ideas. Like I think it's only by getting other people's input and bouncing it off other people's walls that you really create something that's unique, where each song gets its unique flavor.
Yeah, absolutely. And also that would actually, does that also take a bit of the pressure off of yourself as well? Having, you've got someone else to go, that's really terrible, or that's fantastic. Does that sort of, for you as yeah,
absolutely. Like, I think, bands are good sort of filters.
Yeah.
They'll certainly my band will let me know if somebody's not making the grade,
Yeah. What do you think?
Beatles records are always way better than any of the individual. I mean, they all had records, but
don't tell each other. No, don't.
None of them ever made the White Album on their own,
Exactly right. Now, I know that you guys have got some shows coming up. Where can we get along to see you for the rest of 2026, which is not very long, but where can we get to see you? Are there tickets still available?
Yeah, so at the moment we've just locked in a little run of New South Wales shows. So we're heading, as on the screen there, we're heading down to Queanbeyan on the 22nd of August. We got our hometown Sydney launch on the Thursday the 3rd of September. Then up to Maitland's on Sunday the 13th to the Junkyard, and then to one of our favourite little venues on the Central Coast, Lincoln Pin. But then we're going to, the plan is to sort of spread out a bit from there and head into state. We've got a few busy things sort of around October, but later in the year and then into early next year is when we really want to get out and about. And of course, we'll be up at Tamworth. We're locking a couple of things in. So any of your listeners that are up at Tamworth will definitely be up there next year.
I know next year, that's scary, isn't it? It's really sad that we're all starting to, we've all booked our shows in Tamworth a couple of months ago. Now we're starting to look at flights and accommodation, and it just feels too soon. It doesn't feel like it's been that long since Tamworth was on, but it just rolling around so quickly. Now, I know that I was telling you before, Scott, thank you, Scott, too. I know that you are watching, but thank you for all the amazing graphics. But Scott likes to throw in some little fun facts and things for us to talk about. And I tested them earlier. So we had a bit of an idea this time, but sometimes I like to surprise myself and just leave them until we're live. But I do like this one where he's talking about you being a published author for Saltwater Boy. How do you fit all these things in?
Yeah, good question. I think it's actually about routine, making it. I find creativity, there's this idea that you sort of wait and for inspiration to drop out of the sky, which sometimes happens, but if you're busy and you've got other things on, you've just got to, if it matters to you, you've got to make room for it. And for me, that's making room for it every day. Not huge amounts of time. I don't have all day, but just doing it regularly, because I think it's, all these things are habit things.
Yeah.
The more it's the muscles that you need to work out. So yeah, it's just making sure that I always dedicate a little bit of time each day to my creative projects.
That's a really good point. I really love that. Actually, it is, and you're right. The more you do it, the easier it is, the more it comes. And yeah, because mine always seems to come in the middle of the night, when you're really tired and you want to sleep. And I'll remember that in the morning. And every time you don't remember it. So I'm like, no, I have to get up and I have to tell my phone what I want it to say, because otherwise it's going to be gone. And it's usually the really good ones that are gone the next day. But I love that. That's a really good thing for people that are starting out in the industry or in any creative thing in life. I think that's a really important thing, that it is something that you still have to work. It's not something that necessarily is just going to knock on your door. When the time's right, you do have to encourage that for your body and your mind to keep creating, which is, a lovely point. Kaz said that she'd like you guys to come to Victoria, please.
We're cooking up some plans with our mates, Duncan Phillips and Brooke Taylor.
Yes.
So watch this space.
And Tassie, you have to come down here too.
I've got to pick your brain about some good venues. I really want to get down to Tassie at some point.
We've got some great venues down here now. We've got a really great lot of venues that I've been working a lot with, that are really trying to make music work, and all these extra things that they're doing to us, with the super and all the different things are making it so hard, but they're still trying to find ways around to keep people going. But I can understand why venues are a little bit nervous.
Yes.
It's getting hard for everybody, but down here we've got quite a few that are trying to, what can we do to make this still happen? And it's great to see. Really great.
Yeah, good to hear people are still fighting. Right?
Yes, they are. That's exactly right. And we have one more fun fact that Scott has put there for us. He said, with your wife, you also run a small business helping charities for not-for-profit organisations to share their stories and raise money. Tell us about that. It's such a lovely thing. Another thing that I don't know where you find time for, but tell us a little bit.
Yeah, well, this is sort of our day job, I guess. So about similar time to when we started Copperline, actually. My wife and I are both writers by trade. So when we were working, I was working in an agency and she was working for a bunch of not-for-profits, both of us working for not-for-profits. And so we kind of thought, we can probably do this for ourselves. We'd had a fair bit of experience doing it. So yeah, our little business, basically we work with heaps of big charities that you'll probably recognize to I guess sort of tell their stories, to raise money, raise awareness. We work on fundraising campaigns, advocacy campaigns. We do video scripting, write reports, internal magazines, all that sort of stuff. But pretty much, exclusively all our clients are charities and not-for-profits.
Yes. That's incredible. Another little thing to have on the side of everything you guys do. And that's so lovely that you can actually work together on things. And then, it's nice that you both have that connection as well, outside of music and just doing different forms of your art.
Yeah, working with your partner is not without its challenges, but it's but we've managed to stay together and keep the business going for nearly 10 years. So that's
incredible. Absolutely. Now, I know that we talk about this every time, but it's so important. What is the best place to keep in touch with you guys and what you've got coming out, what you've got tour? Because there's hundreds of social media options now. What is the best place for you guys?
So we're pretty old school. Facebook is probably the one that I update the most regularly. Facebook and Instagram. So they're the best places. We're Copperline Band on Facebook and Official Copperline. But if you just search Copperline on either of those platforms, you'll find us. So that's always updated with all the latest shows and releases and things. We've also got our website, which is copperlineband.com. So that's always got all our up-to-date releases and stuff. And then you can find our music on all the normal platforms, whatever you like to stream from. You can, if you prefer hard copies, CDs, vinyl, you can get those through our website and on Bandcamp. I'm still waiting for those to be delivered, so I've still got to
ask, how are you going? Have you got them yet to feel them and see them? Not yet.
Not quite yet. I was supposed to. Like, always seems to happen that these things are delayed. But
I'm sure they do it deliberately just to really stress people out.
Yeah. What would the fun be doing it if you weren't stressed about?
It'll come. Surely it'll come for next tour. It'll be time for next tour. So, are they scheduled to still arrive in time at this stage?
Yeah, we'll have them in time for our launch shows. So that's the main thing. Yep. So they will be So that stuff you can get through our website and Bandcamp.
So excited! Put me down. I'm definitely going to be getting one of those. And I was going to ask you, new music, but on top of that, new album. Merch, have you got merch? Can we get merch when you're out on the road? All those sorts of things. And how do you choose what to do? Because that's so stressful. There's too much.
Yeah. Well, we've sort of, luckily we've done it a couple of times, so we kind of know what sort of stuff people like to buy. Yeah. We've got some t-shirts and caps coming this time around. They seem to be the things that people like. We might get some more. We sold a ton of stubby holders last time, so we might get some more of those.
You know what? They are awesome. You know what I find, and I've helped merch everywhere in Australia. It's incredible. You either want a stubby cooler to keep your drink cold, or one to keep your hands warm. So it doesn't matter what kind of weather it is, you're going to sell one.
Yeah.
Always a need for one.
That's exactly right.
So that is so exciting. How do you guys work as a team to sort of work out artwork when it comes to merchandise and t-shirts and things? Is that something you all do, or do you sort of all have a job that each of you do?
We try and delegate. Actually, Gareth, our drummer, he's taken on the merch mantle.
Yes.
So he's arranged for our new shirts. That's good. He's really taken that role on, because it's there's a lot of other stuff to do. So it's nice to be able to share the load a little bit.
I was actually going to ask you guys about that, because that has to help a little bit. Sharing you've got interviews, you've got publicity, writing, recording. There's so many layers to it, and levels. Having that team that it means as much to each of you, so that if you're delegating jobs, each of you you're going to do it because it means equal parts, like you all care about it as much as each other. How does that that would have to help with you as an artist to take the pressure off of releasing or even finances? Like, it's such a big deal when you're doing it. Does that work easier for you guys because of that? Does that take some of the pressure?
Yeah, well, I think it's I think it's always good to have a band for all sorts of things. I remember seeing Paul McCartney talk about how much he was happy when he met Elvis to think, thank God I'm in a band, because I don't have to do everything on my own. Just sort of having a little gang there with you is, just on stage is, takes the pressure off a bit, makes you feel like you're not alone, not doing it all on your own.
And having a band around you that are as equally invested as well on stage. Like, if you're having a day where you're not, it's exhausting being on the road. It's exhausting being away from family and friends, and also still creating, and then no sleep. And so having a band around you that, if you're having a day where you're not 100% and trying to get that energy up, that would have to help as well. I know a lot of the time you feed that off the crowd, but having that around you on stage before that crowd is giving you that excitement and that level of energy. That would have to be a really good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. It definitely is, for sure.
Yeah. Kaz said that she'll have a t-shirt and to make sure that it's an extra huge one. Okay. I love this t-shirt, Kaz. You can sleep in it, you can wear it out, you can do anything you like. I cannot wait to see you guys releasing next year. I cannot wait for you to guys get on the road. I don't know if I'll get to see you play between now and January, but in January I'm definitely going to come and watch a show. I can't wait to see. With the album, you are pre-ordering, pre-save, whatever they call it now. Is that something that sort of is, pre-save, and that if you click on that link or scan that QR code, it takes you to all platforms where you can pre-save and pre-order, doesn't it? Going that way with the
you can follow the link, and then it's got all the different platforms, so you can pre-save it.
And I think it's really important too. I know that we talk about it a lot, but pre-saving an album or pre-ordering whichever platform you're on, whatever words you use, really helps, because on release day, that's how charting works. Is on release day, when all of those pre-saves or pre-orders, they work essentially like a sale, don't they? And that goes towards charting on ARIA charts, all sorts of charts. But we might not always be able to afford to purchase merch or purchase the tickets if we're really struggling, but doing that doesn't cost anything, but it does actually make a really big difference to the artist or to the album that you're pre-ordering or pre-saving. I think it's just as important as buying something.
Absolutely. Yep. No, couldn't agree more.
And just before we do go, I'm sorry, I always say 20 minutes, and here we are at nearly 35. Best place again to watch you guys, and tickets, to your launch, where can we find all of those as well?
So tickets, we got ticket links. If you kind of go to the events on social media, on Facebook and Instagram, all the ticket links are there. You can also find them on our website, which is up there on the screen now. So it's got the events, and if you go into the events, you'll find the ticket links. So you can jump on there now and get yourself, secure your seat. Make sure you get the best seat in the house.
You don't want to miss it. But if you do go, there's one rule: you have to send us photos and videos, because we can't get there. But that's the only rule. We want to see it. And I'm so excited for you guys to finally get another album out. I know you're as a band, you've faced a lot of hard times, like 2018. Just before, you get yourself just out the door and going, and then COVID hits, and then it's just been one of that decade of, you've had a lot of hits and you're still going strong, and singles and albums are still doing so well, and you hear so many great feedback on everything you do. So congratulations to all of you. It's such a lovely thing to see. With all the challenges, you're still smashing it.
Thanks, Danny. Thank you. That's very nice of you to say.
But we will be back next week, everybody. I don't know where everyone's going this weekend, but pop it in the comments. I'd love to see whatever shows you're going to. I know we've got a lot of shows coming up between now and the end of the year, which is good to say. It's a nice problem to have. But we'll see you all next week. And thank you again so much, Brad, for dropping in and talking to us.
Thanks so much for having me. Great to catch up with you again. And see you, Kaz.
See you guys later. See ya.